As I record this, it is American Thanksgiving. And I want to say that I'm thankful. I'm thankful today in particular because this is the day that my 15th book is available for purchase. And this book is a unique book because it is the first time I have ever written a satire. So let's talk about it. First, I want to talk a little bit about inspiration. So I've long been a fan of satire. Back years ago in university or maybe even high school, I read Jonathan Swift's famous 18th century essay, A Modest Proposal, where he proposes cannibalizing the poor. And of course, this was a social critique through satire, which one of the dangers of satire is people often will be liable to miss the point and think it is in fact serious, but that is the risk you take with satire. Anyway, I loved that essay. I also grew up reading a Christian magazine called The Door, or the Wittenberg Door, which offered critiques, social satirical critiques of Christianity, particularly Protestantism, particularly fundamentalism and evangelicalism. But here are a couple more recent examples. So this book was written back in about 2008, I believe. A Field Guide to Evangelicals and Their Habitat by Joel Kilpatrick. A very, I think, funny and effective critique of evangelicals through satire. And then a very well-known book that came out in 2006 is The Gospel of the Flying Spaghetti Monster by Bobby Henderson. This was a satire of intelligent design theory more specifically, and then also more broadly, religion in general. And this book, of course, went on to become actually a bestseller, sell more than 500,000 copies. So I love satire. I've been inspired by it. These two books are on my shelf. I wanted to do my own satire on a topic with which I am very familiar, which is fundamentalist Christian apologetics. I know it well because I grew up in it from the inside. I was reading people like John Warwick Montgomery and Josh McDowell back in the 1980s. And my history with apologetics goes on from there. So I created a character. His name is Christian Bellows. Yes, the double meaning is intentional there. Christian Bellows looks a lot like me because, as you can imagine, I used aging software in order to present how I would look, 30 years into the future. But the other issue is this is how I would possibly be if I had been born in the mid-1940s, raised in, let's say, Nebraska, with an abusive, harsh, fundamentalist religious father. And then I went on to found my own Bible college and my own church and my own printing press and journal, and lived in my own bubble on the Great Plains. This is how I might have turned out. This is Christian Bellows. And so we're going to meet him in the book. Christian Bellows would understand himself to be a patriot, a nationalist, a Trump supporter who wants to make apologetics great again. Very important for Christian Bellows is guns and the Second Amendment. And so he's very much, that is part of his Christianity. He is also, as you can imagine, a complementarian. He's very patriarchal. Maybe he is misogynistic. I'll let you decide that. This is a quote from Christian Bellows. Behind every great man of God is a woman who has demonstrated proper godly submission to that man. In this case, the woman in question, I believe, is Agnes, who is the secretary at the church and the Bible college. She cleans the chalkboards. She makes the coffee. She does whatever Christian Bellows tells her to do within the office. You think you're conservative? Christian Bellows makes Ray Comfort look like John Shelby Spong. Of course, the point of satire, or one of the ways to pursue satire, is exaggeration to the point of absurdity. And yet, sometimes reality itself can become so absurd that it is difficult to tell what is real and what is not. Christian Bellows lives in a world of extremes, and yet some of those extremes in his fundamentalist combative understanding of Protestant King James only Christianity, some of that actually blurs into reality. Here's the cover of the book, Christian Bellows, Timeless Truth in a World of Lies, a Fundamentalist Apologetics Satire. Christian Bellows is an independent Bible church pastor, unaccredited Bible college president, world-renowned biblical scientist, whatever that is, and the apologist of the Great Plains. And you will meet him in this book. This is Christian Bellows' Timeless Truth in a World of Lies. So I've included a link to the book below. It is currently available on Amazon.com in paperback. It will be available in the next day or two in Kindle, and it will become available in other international markets of Amazon in the next couple weeks or so. It takes a little while for Amazon to roll it out into international markets. Keep your eyes open, though, if you're not in the United States. But for those of you who are, I would say check the book out. It's going to be reasonably priced, $7.99 for the book, $2.99 for the Kindle when it comes out. Although I would say if you can get the book rather than the Kindle, do so, because one important part of this book are the footnotes. I had a lot of fun making those footnotes. And you, in the Kindle, they come in as endnotes, and they're in the end, and it's easier to miss them. So if you can get the book rather than the Kindle, I would say do so. So with that in mind, have a happy Thanksgiving, everybody, and please check out Christian Bellows' Timeless Truth in a World of Lies.